Today I am reviewing the Pioneer DMH-2660NEX 6.8-inch capacitive touchscreen double-din car stereo. If at any time you'd like to explore this product for yourself and grab it at a great price, be sure to check the links below the video. If you are still rocking a factory head unit from 2012 that forces you to use an auxiliary cord or listen to the same 3 radio stations on repeat, you are probably looking at the Pioneer DMH-2660NEX as a way to drag your daily driver into the modern era. I spent the last 3 weeks living with this unit in my own vehicle, and I have a pretty clear idea of who this is for, who should skip it, and where Pioneer cut corners to keep the price point where it is. If you want to check the current pricing or see if this fits your specific dash, you can find the link in the description below, but let's talk about the reality of using this thing on the road. The first thing you notice when you install this is the screen quality. It is a 6.8-inch capacitive touchscreen, and that is a massive step up from the resistive screens that used to dominate this price category. If you have ever used an older aftermarket stereo, you know that frustration of having to press down hard on the plastic to get a response. That is completely gone here. The touch response is snappy, it feels like a tablet, and the glass finish makes it look like it actually belongs in a modern dashboard rather than looking like an oversized calculator stuck in your center console. That being said, it is a fingerprint magnet. If you are the type of person who is bothered by smudges, keep a microfiber cloth in your glove box because you'll be wiping this down every few days. Let's get into the main reason you are buying this, which is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This is where the unit shines. The connection is rock solid. I used both an iPhone and a Pixel during my testing, and I never had a single instance where the phone failed to handshake with the receiver once I plugged it in. The interface is clean, the icons are large enough to hit while you're driving without taking your eyes off the road for too long, and the audio quality is noticeably better than my factory unit. Pioneer has always had a reputation for decent internal amps, and even with my stock speakers, the soundstage felt wider and the bass was punchier. If you are an audiophile, you're probably going to want an external amplifier eventually, but for the average commuter, the internal power of this unit is a significant upgrade over what comes from the factory. However, it is not all sunshine and rainbows. One of the biggest disappointments with the DMH-2660NEX is the lack of wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. You have to be plugged in via USB. In 2024, that feels like a bit of a relic. If you're just running to the grocery store, you might not want to dig your cable out and plug it in, which means you end up listening to the radio or Bluetooth audio instead of your preferred interface. If you are someone who really values the convenience of wireless connectivity, this is going to be your main gripe. I found myself wishing I had spent the extra money for a wireless-capable unit on several occasions. If you decide that a wired connection is a deal breaker for you, you can look at the other options in the Pioneer lineup using the links below, but for a lot of people, the wired connection is actually more stable, which is a fair trade-off for some. Another point of contention is the Alexa integration. Pioneer uses a system called VOTSIS to bridge the gap between your phone and the head unit to bring Alexa into the car. Honestly, it is a bit clunky. You have to have the app running on your phone, and it feels like an extra layer of software that can occasionally lag. If you are a diehard Alexa user who wants to control your smart home lights from your driveway, it works, but it is not as seamless as having native, built-in voice control. I found myself ignoring the Alexa feature entirely and just relying on Siri or Google Assistant through CarPlay and Android Auto. It is a nice bullet point on the box, but in practice, it feels like a bit of a gimmick that most users will stop using after the first week. Installation is something you really need to think about before you click buy. The chassis dimensions are standard double din, which is 7 inches by 3 and 7/8 inches by 6.5 inches. It fit into my dash kit without any major modifications, but you need to be realistic about your skills. If you have never wired a harness or dealt with car audio, you are going to want to pay a professional or at least find a very detailed YouTube tutorial for your specific vehicle make and model. You also need to account for the backup camera. This unit is fully capable of handling a rear-view camera, and the image quality is dependent on the camera you buy, not the screen itself. The integration is fast, though. As soon as you shift into reverse, the video feed pops up almost instantly. There is no waiting for the system to boot up or lag, which is a huge safety plus. Let's talk about the user interface when you aren't using your phone. Pioneer's native operating system is fine, but it isn't winning any design awards. It is functional, utilitarian, and a little bit dated. The color schemes are okay, and you can customize the background, but it doesn't feel like a high-end smartphone interface. That is actually one of the reasons I appreciate it. It doesn't try to do too much. It focuses on being a reliable hub for your audio and your navigation apps. The Bluetooth functionality for calls is excellent. The microphone quality is crisp, provided you mount the external microphone in a good spot near your visor or steering column. Don't just tuck it under the dash, or the person on the other end of the call is going to hear more road noise than your voice. Who is this unit for? It is for the person who wants to modernize their car on a budget without sacrificing reliability. If you have an older car that you plan on keeping for another 5 years, this is a perfect centerpiece. It gives you the navigation, the music streaming, and the safety of a backup camera without needing to buy a new vehicle. It is a practical, no-nonsense upgrade. If you are looking for a fancy, high-resolution screen with wireless everything and built-in navigation that doesn't rely on your phone, this isn't it. You would need to spend double or triple the price for those features. There is also the matter of the value proposition. When you look at what you are really paying for the Pioneer name and the reliability of their hardware. There are plenty of no-name brands on the market that offer more features for less money, like massive screens or wireless connections. But in my experience, those units tend to get buggy after 6 months. They might freeze, the screen might flicker, or the software might just stop updating. Pioneer has a proven track record. This unit feels solid, the buttons are tactile, and the software is stable. If you value longevity over having the absolute newest feature set, this is a much smarter purchase than a budget knockoff. I also want to touch on the glare. Because the screen is capacitive and glass-fronted, it can be prone to glare when the sun hits it at the right angle. It is a common issue with almost all aftermarket head units, but it is worth noting if you have a convertible or a car with a very flat dashboard where the sunlight hits the center stack directly. I usually keep my brightness set to about 70%, and that is usually enough to cut through most reflections, but on a really bright summer day, you might have to squint a little bit. It hasn't reached the point where it was unusable, but it is something to keep in mind. One thing I found myself doing was checking the settings menu for audio tuning. Pioneer includes a decent equalizer and some crossover settings that allow you to really dial in the sound for your specific speakers. Even if you don't know much about car audio, it is worth playing around with the settings to see what sounds best to your ears. Don't just leave it on the flat factory setting. You can actually pull a lot more clarity out of your stock speakers by adjusting the high-pass filter. It is a little bit of a hidden gem in the menu system that a lot of people probably ignore. If you are a heavy user of podcasts or Spotify, you will appreciate how the interface handles album art. It is clean and readable, and the buttons for skipping tracks are large enough that you aren't fighting the touchscreen while you are merging onto the highway. The integration with steering wheel controls is also seamless, provided you by the correct adapter for your vehicle. I cannot stress that enough. Do not skip the steering wheel control adapter. It makes the experience of using this unit feel much more integrated into the car. Using the volume buttons on your wheel rather than reaching for the screen makes the whole experience feel safer and more intuitive. Thinking about the long term, I think the biggest risk with this unit is just the fact that it is wired only. As phones continue to move away from ports, or as we get used to the total freedom of wireless tech, having to plug in every time might eventually feel like a chore. However, if you're the type of person who likes to keep their phone charged while they drive, you're going to be plugging it in anyway. In that specific use case, the wired connection is actually a benefit because you get a rock-solid, high-fidelity connection that won't drop out or experience the slight latency that you sometimes get with wireless systems. It really comes down to your personal habits. If you are on the fence about whether or not this is a good upgrade, just look at the condition of your current head unit. If it is glitchy, if the display is dying, or if you're tired of burning CDs or using FM transmitters, then this is an absolute no-brainer. It is a massive quality of life upgrade. You can check the current pricing and compatibility for your car via the links below if you want to see if this fits your setup. It is a reliable, standard-setting piece of equipment that does exactly what it says on the box without trying to overcomplicate things. To summarize, the Pioneer DMH-2660NEX is a workhorse. It doesn't have the bells and whistles of the flagship models, and it definitely feels like a mid-range piece of tech, but it is dependable. The screen is responsive, the audio quality is a noticeable jump from factory, and the interface is easy to navigate. The lack of wireless CarPlay is the biggest drawback, and the Alexa integration is something I could have lived without, but the core functionality is excellent. If you want a brand you can trust that will provide a solid, consistent experience every time you turn the key, this is a strong contender. It is not perfect, but for the price, it hits the sweet spot between affordability and performance, which is exactly where most of us want to be when we are upgrading our daily drivers. It is a straightforward, honest piece of hardware that delivers on its promises, and that is becoming harder and harder to find in the current market. If you have any questions about the installation or how it performs with specific phone models, feel free to drop a comment, and I will try to help you out. Otherwise, enjoy the upgrade if you decide to go for it.